Protesting students from Wits University tried to pull down a statue outside the City of Johannesburg offices today, but were stopped by the Metro Police as backup was called in. Students have intensified their protest today against financial exclusion in the 2021 academic year. At least 8 students have been suspended following the week's protest action.
Police had their hands full trying to stop students from pulling down the miners' statue stationed in Braamfontein. Wits SRC President Mpendulo Mfeka says at least 7 students have been suspended from the institution this week. One of the suspended Wits SRC members, Gabby Faber, says her suspension has actually inspired her to continue the students' fight against financial and academic exclusion.
We started off at Wits University, our campus, which we were duly elected as SRC leaders to lead. We led protests at both the exam halls. We then disrupted the exam, and from this we were sent to a suspension. On Monday they sent us communication, me and the Treasurer General of the SRC, to say that they are going to call a meeting because we are going to be suspended. Obviously, we weren't exactly reading emails. We have much bigger issues to be dealing with, such as getting all these students back into university.
A claim that Wits has refuted.
2 students disrupted an exam on the 8th of March. On the 9th, they were issued with notices to appear before an inquiry, which was held on the 10th of March. The 2 students were suspended pending a disciplinary hearing, which will take place in due course. 3 other students were charged for breaching COVID-19 regulations under Level 3 for incidents that happened on the 23rd and 24th of February 2021. None of these suspensions or charges relate to protests that happened this week. I can confirm that these students stayed in residence last night.
Meanwhile, the Students' Representative Council at Wits University in Johannesburg says they'll launch their court application next week, and not today as originally expected, to ensure that free, quality and decolonized education is realized.
Wits University's SRC has refused to engage with management virtually and is calling on them to schedule a sit-down meeting to discuss their grievances. Last night, university management and the SRC were due to meet. However, the SRC abandoned the meeting due to it being held online. And of course, Nozinto Mbimia has more.
As we stand here outside the Wits University, we do know that the group of students that have been protesting over the past few days are inside the university campus grounds having a mass student meeting that is anticipated to last throughout the night to talk about the way forward with regards to how the protest will continue. And what we saw earlier in Braamfontein was scenes where some of the students from the Wits SRC tried to take down the miners' statue just next to the City of Johannesburg offices. And to talk to me a little bit more about what has really transpired throughout the day, we've got one of the Wits SRC members, Mr. Stelo Kubeka. Thank you so much for joining me. Let's talk about the students attempting to pull down the statue. Why did the students attempt to pull down the statue?
Well, that statue represents colonialism, apartheid and racism. That statue of Van Brandes, you know, Van Brandes was from Europe. He came here to do his own thing, to colonize our people, enslave them, steal our mineral resources and take them back to Europe and create jobs in Europe. So we have many heroes and heroines in this country. Why are you not erecting the statues of those black leaders, those African leaders who have led the revolution, who have led our people, whether it's traditional leaders, political leaders, civil organization leaders? We have them, we have many of them. Why not erecting a statue of Winnie Mandela there? Why Van Brandes? Van Brandes for what?
Now, Scholar, there's been some criticism about that attempt to pull down the statue. Some criticism is that the Wits SRC students are trying to compete with the EFF student command who pulled down the street sign, the De Beer Street sign in Braamfontein and renamed it Ntumba Street. Was this an attempt by you guys to one-up them?
No, we don't compete with them. Actually, we work together with them because our demands are the same. What we want to achieve is the same. So why would you want to compete with someone who's also fighting the same cause as you are? We're not competing with them. They are our brothers and sisters. As I'm talking to you now, they are here joining also the mass meeting that is currently taking place here at Wits University. We want to chart a way forward together because the struggles are the same. We're all black, we're all poor, we all lead students. Why should we compete with people who want to achieve the same objectives as we are?
Very succinctly put, Celo. However, another criticism is that the students could possibly be undermining the cause that they are fighting for in destructing public property. What is your response to that?
No, we're not. We actually want government to accelerate this. We want government and management to meet our demands as soon as possible because as I'm talking to you, the online classes are taking place and some students who are not registered are not able to access those classes, but then they will be expected to compete with the same students who are already attending those classes. So what are you saying to those students? You are saying because they don't have money, they must fail or they must be left behind. We don't agree to that. We are saying government and the university management, they must meet us halfway as soon as they can, actually now, because we want to achieve this free education now, because if we don't achieve it now, again next year we're going to have same problems and we don't want to have them.
Stella, now let's talk about the meeting that's happening now, the student meeting that's happening now. Obviously everybody is now wanting to sing from the same voice and collate all the different demands that have been heard throughout the week. Give me the top 5 demands that the students will be singing in one voice with regards to.
Everyone who's academically deserving must be registered. All students who qualifies for NSFAS, they must get it. All students who qualified for NSFAS funding must have accommodation. They must get stationery on time, allowance stationery or book allowance on time. They must get meals allowance on time. Those are the problems that we want them to be prioritized by the government and the management.